Hey there. Sorry here. As you can see, I have claimed my rank 1 status against the Harpy of Unknown Origin, using pretty much the same team that I showed you in my damage test clear yesterday. I did end up having to switch Sylvie in place of Kresnik. My biggest concern was that that Sylvie wasn't going to be able to generate enough morale to sort of maintain a healthy level of morale against this boss. Turns out she does just fine. Plus, she's got all the other great support skills in her kit. So Sylvie it is, and I was very happy to be able to bring at least half of my best bunny girl squad into this fight for a rank 1 clear. So let's go ahead and get in here, turn on all of these modifiers. A couple things to know going in: the boss's base HP is 3 billion. I think this is going to be sort of the new standard going forward with a 3 billion base HP. So what that means is when you turn both of the HP modifiers on there, you have a total of 9,750,000,000. So almost 10 billion HP we have to chew through now in 10 turns in order to get your rank 1. Because the turn limit is now reinstated, so you have to get it done in 10 turns or else you start losing points. So just keep that in mind, all right? You need to be able to deal 10 billion total HP in 10 turns in order to get this done. Surviving the fight is not an issue, I don't think. This boss is pretty tame. I think the biggest hurdle for most players is going to be having enough DPS to do that, to eat all of that HP in the time limit. So here's the team that we're working with. As you can see, pretty much exact same team as I showed you yesterday, with the exception of Sylvie has replaced Kresnik. So we're sticking with Kaito. He's fantastic for the breaks, obviously, for the killers, a lot of other great support skills in there. He will also be on top of perfect dispelling the boss's attack and mag buff, so we don't have to worry about that. I actually built Kaito for in a counter build. He is now my evade provoke unit, and I built him for counters so that anytime the boss attacks him, he just automatically attacks with his normal attack, which does a perfect dispel. So we literally never have to worry about that. The only thing we have to do is crashing waves on turn 1 to get rid of the attack and mag break on turn 1. From then on, he pretty much always dispels it. So very, very nice. And then we've got Elena. Of course, Elena is our mag tank. She'll be tanking pretty much everything. She does just fine. She will do a little bit of damage on the final burst turn. But other than that, yeah, she's not even all that necessary for the burst turn, but she'll just kind of help us chip away along the way. So she's not really here for damage, more for the tanking. Obviously, we have Malphasie. Malphasie is our primary DPS unit. She's also going to be our wind imbue for the party. Also has a bit of support there in her kit for Clash of Wills. You notice she is starting in Brave Shift form. She is a trance unit, so she has 4 turns on, 4 turns off. So we need to start her in trance. She will then lose her trance on turn 5 and be able to reactivate it on turn 8. Or actually, it might even have to wait till turn 9 to reactivate it. Either way, it works out because we're doing our final burst on turn 10 to finish off the boss, and so she will be back in action for the big burst on turn 10. And luckily, her ramping amp is available in both forms, so we can start that. We can start that ramp even if she's in her normal form. So it all works out perfectly fine. 2B is also here as a DPS unit, being a physical damage dealer. However, she really is only doing damage on our big burst turns, like 3, 6. We will use her on turn 10, and we'll just use Kaito to get rid of the defense buff. Sylvie, obviously, for support, morale generation, just all around awesome support unit. And then Olive there is, yeah, just another DPS, and she'll be helping us just chip away at this boss. So I mentioned in my video yesterday, my plan was to just whittle the boss down, push the 50% threshold, and then set up for one big burst to just finish the boss off, and that pretty much worked beautifully. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate for you guys here today. I will show you the gear at the end because I just want to make sure we get through it and don't have any issues, and then I'll show you the gear. All right, so we're starting off with our turn one, you know, morale bump. So Kaito starts in his normal form because he's got the Empress's Rod and the Treasure Memorial Ring for that quick morale bump on turn one. All right, we're going to start. Malphasie is going to go ahead and imbue everybody with an Eroga. She's going to do As the Crow Flies, Murderous Mob, and Avian Rancor. Okay, so this is just going to, you know, imbue everybody. It gives her does the Wind Imperil, then the Wind Imperil Field, and the Bird Killer. All right, Kaito can now shift. All right, he will do Crashing Wave, so we get rid of that attack and mag buff. Deep Submersion, Destabilizing Form for morale fill. All right, 2B can do Avoid for the Mirage, and then just, you know, 2 of any of those skills because they both generate morale. All right, Sylvie is going to start with Compassionate Knight for Break and Ailment Resists, Elemental Vines, and Paladin's Resolve. We're doing Elemental Vines because we really only need the mag resistance, and this buffs Wind and Dark, which gives you another boost to morale. All right, Paladin's Resolve also does a morale bump plus some regen, which is nice. All right, all Olive needs to do right now is just fill up some morale. All right, so we'll do all those little skills and then Gunner Guardian. So we're just filling up morale here to get started. All right, so we will do Benediction for the cover, Sanctuary, don't do Provoke, and then we'll do With This Power I'll Protect You, because those all fill up a lot of morale, which is useful. Okay, so yeah, there's that Purifying Edge, which just always makes sure we're getting rid of any attack and mag buffs the boss puts up. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do 2B's LB. Kaito is going to do Torrential Downpour, and then another double Deep Submersion for morale fill. Malphasie is going to set up for a burst next turn. So we're going to do, we'll do Demon Rancor, we'll do 1 Rapid Peck because it does some morale fill, and then we'll do Skilled Scavengers for the mod boost, and Dreams of Flying for the mag store, because this does the 300% mag store for her. All right, so that'll be useful. All right, Olive is just going to set up all these skills. Make sure you end with Giant Melon ammo for her own mag store. So this strategy will obviously need an EX3 Olive. However, I'll go ahead and tell you that Olive and 2B are easily the most swappable units in this fight. They are literally just DPS units. So just, you know, if you don't have 2B or you don't have Olive or you don't have them at the right EX levels, just swap your best DPS units in those slots. Like if you have Ibarra, great. If you have Dwayne, great. If you have Nora, she's not great, but you know, she's doable. You can use her. We're going to do Sylvie's going to shift. She's going to do I've Got Your Back on 2B. Make sure you wait till after 2B has done 2B's LB. We'll do Poached Demon on 2B as well, because we're going to do a solid burst next turn. And then we'll just do some morale fill with Cheerful Paladin Strike. Okay, so Olive can go ahead and go. Elena is going to do, we'll do Recover again because it does some morale fill. We'll do Crystal Echo, and then what else can she do? She can just do Barb Lazage. All right, that should work. Okay, so we're gonna chain, you know, 2B and Kaito and all that stuff first. It's not gonna do very much damage, if at all. It's really just for the mod boost for her for next turn. Yeah, see, it did like, did hardly anything. But now we've refilled her LB so she can do her normal form LB next turn for the burst, because that's when the defense buff wears off. So physical damage units, they're kind of restricted to turns 3, 6, 9, unless you have like Richt, who can get rid of those defense buffs, or Kaito, who can get rid of those defense buffs. Of course, each of those units can only do it once, right? Once per battle, but if you have Richt and Kaito, you can theoretically do it twice per battle. So just keep that in mind. All right, so we are ready for our first burst of the fight. Okay. Now there's a chance this hits the damage cap, but we're honestly not concerned about that. We're just concerned about doing, as much damage as we can, and just making sure that we are putting ourselves in good position to hit the 50% threshold, or the 50% HP lock, by turn 6. That's all we really care about. Okay. So you want to be able to do good damage here, but it doesn't matter if you hit the damage cap. Our damage cap is going to come on our final burst when we kill the boss. And it's going to be like an overwhelming damage cap, right? So it doesn't even matter. Like, hitting the damage cap isn't really a big issue anymore. It's just a matter of dealing enough damage to kill the boss anymore. All right, Kaito is going to do Torrential Downpour, Natural Flux, Deadly Stream for the 90% breaks. Okay. All right, so now we can chain it up. Elena's going to do her her normal form LB because it's Extreme Nova chaining, and everybody is chaining Extreme Nova, so it works out very, very well. I'm going to start 2B and Elena first to let that chain ramp up, just because Olive and Malphasie, we want to make sure they're at the top of the chain before they go. And I'm hoping this will do like a nice chunk of damage. Like, I'm hoping to do at least 25% of the boss's health here, which will push the first threshold at 75%. If you don't push the threshold, no big deal. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Like I said, as long as you're doing enough damage to push 50% by turn 6, you should be fine. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Nice healthy burst of damage there, 2.6, yeah, so, damage cap. All right, Kaito's out, no problem. Okay. So, yeah, Sylvie is our backup evade provoke unit. So she is also built for 100% evasion and 100% provoke. So that way, when Kaito gets knocked out, Sylvie takes over. She will heal everybody back up. It honestly, like, in hindsight, it might be better to swap Sylvie and Kaito's places, so that, in times like this, Sylvie, like on this particular turn, Sylvie would be the one to get snorted. That way Kaito is there. But it doesn't really matter. As you can see, in this case, it's nice because then Sylvie heals Elena back up a little bit, which is good. Okay, so now Elena. All right, Elena can just do her cover again, and we'll do double Pollux Blade just because we want to fill up her LB as quickly as we can. 2B is going to come back, and we're just going to do some more morale fill. So at this point, we do, we can see the boss has done a significant amount of morale. I think she does like 7,000 morale on that turn. So yeah, we gotta dig ourselves out of that hole. So Kaito is just going to do triple bolting strike with morale. We're going to do with our with our Malphasie, we'll do double rapid peck, followed by aerial ambush, and then just in Eroga to make sure everyone is imbued for pretty much the rest of the fight. Olive's going to do fiery splash, brilliant splash, sky sea shooter. Giant Melon, and then dual Summer Shot because she gets a nice mod boost to her dual Summer Shot after doing her SLB. Just make sure you don't accidentally use Fire Cannon Fire. All right, Sylvie's gonna come back. We're gonna go and do Burgeoning Defense for the 85% mitigations. We'll then do another Compassionate Night and Elemental Vines. Okay. And that should all do, a significant amount of morale fill. Actually, I think what I'll do, because Compassionate Night doesn't actually do any morale fill, and we don't need it yet. So let's do Elemental Vines and then Paladin's Resolve. Let's do that. I think that'll get us more overall morale on this turn. Okay. So I think that's good. Yeah. Okay. So I'll go ahead and send all that. All right, I'll go ahead and send Elena. All right, so Olive needs to cap her dual Summer Shot, obviously, so we send Olive, wait a second, and then send all of our chainers. All three of them are doing triple bolting strike, so it should be very easy to chain, and this should do a nice little bit of chip damage on the boss, hopefully put us somewhere below like 65%. Get us comfortably within range to push 50% on turn 6. Nice. All right. Okay. All right, so you see Malphasie has fallen out of her trance, so now she's in her normal form. She's still built for full-on damage, but she is significantly weaker in this form, especially her Limit Burst. Significantly weaker, but should still be strong enough to burst on turn 6 and push the 50% threshold. And we're still going to continue to deal damage here. So we'll do... Again, we'll just do quadruple rapid peck because they do morale fill each time. We'll do Fiery Splash, Sky Sea Shooter, Giant Melon, dual Summer Shot, and then end with Fire Cannon Fire. 2B is just going to do Avoid, True Charge Spear. All right, and Kaito will do Killers. Natural Flux, Deadly Stream again. All right, Sylvie's going to shift. All right, she is going to do Poach Demon on Olive because she'll have the strongest LB next turn. And then double Clever Paladin to fill up some LB gauge, and that's mostly for 2B so that 2B can do her normal LB next turn. Okay. Elena will do Benediction for the cover, and then double bar Blizaja again to make sure we're filling up 2B's LB for next turn. And I think that's all we really need to do. Okay. I think I'm doing that right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'll send Olive. This one's a bit quicker because she's only doing 3 actions before her dual Summer Shot. So do keep that one, keep that in mind. So I'll tap Olive first still, but then I'll send my chainers, not too long after that. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, 8%. So I just need to do, what would that be, like 900 million on this turn in order to push the 50% threshold. Should be very, very easy. I think I'm routinely doing like 1.5 billion on this turn. This is definitely not like a, you know, a huge bursting turn. It's just enough to push the 50% threshold. Okay, so Olive does her SLB. Malphasie does her LB. 2B is going to come back to normal, do her LB. Okay, we should still have all the LB buffs from Sylvie because she did her Brave Shifted LB on turn 3, so I think we should still have all of that up. But yeah, if not, it's not a big deal. All right, Sylvie's actually going to come back because now we do need to do Compassionate Night for breaks, Elemental Vines, and we don't need to do Paladin's Defense, do we? No. So we'll just do Paladin's Resolve. Okay. I don't think we've been hit with breaks yet. No, we haven't. Okay. Yeah, but we are going to get hit with breaks this turn, so we got to make sure we've re-upped our break resistance. Elena can go ahead and do her LB as well. Kaito will just... we'll go ahead and do Crashing Waves. Actually, no, I'm going to save that for next turn. Torrential Downpour. Deep Submersion, Deep Stabilizing for Morale Fill. See, we're still not quite at 200%. Like, this boss definitely hits you. And we're about to get slapped with another, like, 7,000 morale on this turn. But don't worry, we should be up to 200% by our big burst turn on turn 10. Okay. I think we are good to go here. Just to check if Sylvie's buffs are still in place. So her mag is 19707, so if I do the attack and mag... Oh wow, no, okay, so Sylvie's buffs are not active. That's alright, that's okay. What we should probably do here then is Compassionate Night, Elemental Vines, and Paladin's Offense. That's what we should do here. Okay. That way everybody has an LB buff, and that'll just make sure it's only 200%, but that's fine. It'll just make sure everybody has their LB damage buff, and you'll definitely hit the 50% threshold here. Okay. Olive is the one who's going to be the strongest on this turn, so just make sure the chain is ramped up fully for Olive. That is the most important. Okay, so we'll do 2B and Elena first, again, just like the last burst on turn 3, and then Olive and Malphasie. .6, yeah, pretty typical. All right, so we got 2 units snorted, so Sylvie and Kaito are gone, but it's fine. Because everyone, yeah, I mean, everyone's covered. We don't have to worry about it. Yeah, with the 50% accuracy down, and everybody except for Olive is built for 50% physical evasion. So, yeah, and Olive has Mirage stacks on her. So even if like 1 or 2 of the hits go to Olive, she's covered. Alright, so we've got another big hole of morale to dig ourselves out of. That's fine, we've got 4 turns to do it, so no rush, no rush. Crashing Waves, Deep Submersion, Destabilizing. And yeah, that's basically all we're doing. We're just doing morale fill here. We'll do As the Crow Flies to re-up our Imperil. We'll do... double Rapid Peck, and we'll do another in Eroga. Do we really need to do that? Let me see. How long does the... Yeah, we need to do 1 more in Eroga to make sure that we're imbued for... Actually, no, because we're going to do... Yeah, we don't need to do that, because we're going to do Strong Tailwinds next turn. Never mind. So let's just do As the Crow Flies and triple Rapid Peck. 2B is going to come back to normal form. And do Supreme Support. That's going to fill up her LB. And then true charge, blah, 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 all that true charge stuff. Olive is going to do Fiery Splash, Sky Sea Shooter, Gunner Guardian, Giant Melon, and Dual Summer Shot. Okay. Sylvie on this turn is going to come back, I believe, on this turn. Are we going to do... Yeah, we'll do Poach Demon on Olive. And then just... Actually, no. We need to dig out of our morale pit here. So let's just do Elemental Vines, Elemental Petals, and Paladin's Resolve. That's all we really need to do, is just do as much morale fill here as we can. Elena is going to do Benediction, Sanctuary with this power. I'll protect you, because all of those do a lot of morale fill. And we should be good. Yeah. We have all of our killers up, right? Boost damage, boost demons. Those are still up for 2 turns. So let's just go ahead and do... Oh wait, no, I'm doing Crashing Waves, that's right. Okay. Crashing Waves, Deep Submersion, Destabilize. That's right. Okay. I think that's what we want to do. Okay. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and send Sylvie and Elena first. All right, try and gen up all that morale as much as we can. All right, we'll then send Olive. She'll wind up for her big hit. We'll send our Chainers and be good to go. Don't forget to do your attack and mag. Okay. Yep, and I think we're good to go. Okay. So at this point, we're just chipping away. We're putting ourselves in comfortable position to kill the boss on turn 10 with our biggest burst. All right. I've been with this team and the gear that I'll show you at the end. I've been reliably doing like 4.5 billion on my biggest burst, which means I could theoretically kill from 50%. But I don't expect you to be able to do that much damage necessarily, so it definitely helps. I would say to make it comfortable, you want to probably put yourself just below 40% or somewhere between 30 and 40. That's a comfortable place to get the job done. All right, Kaito, we'll go ahead and re-up killers and breaks, because I think we're very comfortably within range to hit 200% morale at this point. We'll do Benediction and double Pollux Blade, because we do want to try and get Elena's LB up. Actually, no, we don't need to do that. What am I thinking? Because she's going to have her LB up. We're going to use all the LB fill stuff anyways. So just go ahead and do Benediction, and we'll do double bar Blizzaja. All right, because 2B will do her LB. Malphasie is going to do Strong Tailwinds. This does the ramping wind amp for the party. Okay, so by starting it on this turn, that means we'll have 100% wind amp for the party on turn 10. Okay, so she'll do that. We will do, and then we'll just do triple rapid peck. Okay. Olive can just do all this jazz here. Giant Melon, Dual Summer Shot. Okay. We will bring Sylvie back. Sylvie can do Poach Demon if you want to. If you need to, she could do Poach Demon on like Olive or something like that. Honestly, what is she like? Does she even really need to do anything here? Oh, she does need to do Paladin's Defense to make sure we have enough Mirage to get through. So yeah, she'll do Paladin's Defense. And then I think if you need a Poach Demon on Olive because you need to do a bit more chip damage, you can. In fact, let's just go ahead and do it. And then a Clever Paladin Strike to help fill up some LB. That's for 2B, of course. So let me just make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and send 2B, just so Sylvie can fill up her LB gauge a little bit, because she's gonna use Tyvus' spirit next turn to sort of finish filling herself up. We'll go ahead and do our attack and mag buffs. Okay, we'll start Olive. Okay, there you go. Looking good. All right, Elena can go. All right, and we should be sitting at 200%. Yep, perfect. Now, ideally, you don't want to push the, I think it's the 25% threshold, because you don't want everybody to get snorted again. You know, ideally, you want to avoid that one. Okay, so 2B will now use Tyvus' spirit. Sylvie, since we used Poach Demon last turn, Sylvie can do her LB this turn. If you didn't use Poach Demon last turn, you would use it this turn on not on Malphasie, on Olive, or actually, sorry, on 2B, because 2B will have her biggest modifier for the turn 10 burst. All right, and yeah, so I'll do that next turn. Elena's going to shift. She's going to get ready to do her burst. All right, so she'll do Grace of Procyon for the mod boost, Blessing of Sirius just to fill up her LB, and then Pollux's Blade. Actually, yeah, she doesn't even need that, does she? So we'll just do Grace of Procyon, and then you could do like Pollux Blade and Judgment of Beetlejuice, for example. This is if you needed to do a little bit more chip damage to put yourself in good position. Okay, Kaito's just going to do Torrential Downpour again, Natural Flux, Deadly Stream. Again, just re-upping, because she should still have plenty of attack. I think she still has 2 turns on the attack and mag breaks. Yep. Malphasie can now shift and prepare for her burst. Okay, so she will do, we'll do Avian Rancor, Demon Rancor, Skilled Scavengers, and Fleet Winged Flyers, because this does the 150 wind amp and the mag store for her. Olive is just going to do all of her little morale skills here, and then Fire Cannon Fire. Okay, boom, boom. All right. I am personally, I'm not going to do any chaining here, because I don't want to do too much damage. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's up to you. If you need to do a little bit of chip damage, that's fine. But I'm not going to try to chain anybody on this one. I will do the Enduring Will. Okay, so that does the wind and dark buff for everybody. This is just to make sure Elena doesn't die. She shouldn't. I mean, there's always a chance she does, but even if she does, her damage isn't going to make or break your burst turn next turn at this point. Okay? And if you find that your Elena is too squishy, just keep her in normal form. That's fine. And just have her use her normal form LB next turn to chain with everybody. That's perfectly fine. Okay, yeah, so let's go. Let's do this. So yeah, like I said, I'm not chaining here, but if you want to, like you could chain with Elena and Kaito here on this turn to do a little bit of extra chip damage. Yeah, so you see that was close. Wow, that's the closest she's ever come. Usually she's still got like 9,000 HP. It kills me that they didn't give her more HP passives in her Brave Shift form. But anyways, look, if your Elena is squishier, is too squishy and she's just dying, like I said, keep her in her normal form. Her damage is not making or breaking your damage score here. Trust me. All right, but her Brave Shifted LB is stronger. So if you can get away with it, you know, that's great. All right, so first thing you got to do, Kaito's got to get rid of he's got to get rid of the defense buff with Unpredictable Tide. And then I just do Undulating Waves and the killers just to make sure they're all reapplied at this point. That's all he really needs to do. All right, 2B's going to come back to her normal LB. Sylvie is going to do, all Sylvie has to do here, honestly, is just Poach Demon on 2B. If you didn't use Poach Demon back on turn 8, whenever it was, Sylvie would do her her LB on this turn. But yeah, it doesn't really matter which order you do that. As long as 2B gets the Demon Killer and you do her Brave Shifted LB, you know, you're fine. All right, Olive does her LB, Malphasie does her LB, and yep, we're all good to go at this point. So let's just kill this thing. So this burst does behave a little bit differently with Elena doing her Brave Shifted LB, because Elena's Brave Shifted LB is triple Bolting Strike. So I'm going to send all my Extreme Nova Chainers at the same time, followed immediately afterwards by Elena, so that they all fit in together. All right, so let's do it. Yeah, the boss was dead before like Malphasie and 2B even got their last hit in, I think. Ooh, 4.8, yeah. So that's what, 50, like 55% of the boss's HP. So massive overkill there. So plenty of room if your team's not quite as strong. All right, so there you go. All right, rank 1 clear. The obvious winner is Malphasie. This is her fight, so she takes it away. 2B and Olive are just backup singers, still both very, very strong. And then Elena, you know, chipping in a little bit there at the end. And yeah, so that's how this team gets a rank 1 clear done. Don't care about the rewards at this point. I have what I want. So let's just take a look at the gear. I'm going to turn on the Party Elemental Resist mod, so you see what our elemental resists look like with that mod turned on. Because I know sometimes that trips people up when they see, you know, if I don't turn that mod on and I show the gear at the end, it sometimes trips people up because they're like, whoa, why are my elemental resists so much lower than yours? So that's why I'm doing that there. All right, so Kaito in his normal form, Empress Rod, Treasure Memorial Ring, that's all. He does also have Melissa's Vision card for the 400 morale per turn. You can get this one for free. If you don't have a Melissa, go get it in the Perma VC shop. Otherwise, he's only here in his normal form on turn 1. That's it. In his Brave Shift form, I just built him. I tried to give him some killers, but honestly, he's not built for damage. Cypher's Coat is there just to increase the counter chance, but it's probably not necessary. Counter is 3-star Sabin's TMR, so very easy to get that. Perfect Provocation. And then Sea Dragon is all you need to make sure that he hits 100% physical evasion. Too easy. And that's all he really needs. I'm not going to show you the killers because his damage is irrelevant. Elena in normal form, just built for as much wind resist as you can get. So you see with the 100% imperil modifier turned on, she still has 210% wind resist. So that's what mine was built for. The boss does a 200% wind imperil. Sylvie puts up 80% wind resist, so 90% resistance. If you can get that to 220, then she'll be totally resistant to wind, by the way. Yeah, so here's the gear that I used to get all those resists and everything. Her own vision card, of course. Yep, and that's pretty much it. Prophet's Diadem, you know, doesn't have to be Prophet's Diadem. I have that for my Genesis, for the MP, but it does solve a lot of Elena's MP issues. So if you're one of those people that finding your Elena is just drinking her MP and leaving nothing for, you know, future turns, Prophet's Diadem can help with that. In her Brave Shift form, still need to gear her for wind resist so that she doesn't take too much damage on that on turn 9. So you see she's got lots of wind resist there because turn 9 is our most vulnerable turn. Like I said, if you're worried your Elena is going to die, just leave her in normal form. It's fine. It's really fine. Her killers and LB damage in both, so she's not full LB damage here. Killers are pretty weak. She is, I think, full LB damage in this form. Yeah, full LB damage, but still the killers are quite weak. So, you know, she's not here to deal heaps of damage for you. All right, Malphasie in her normal form, 2 STMRs. If you don't have 2 STMRs, just put what's like Nora's STMR or Cacteria's STMR or Emir Gauntlet or something in the offhand. That should be fine. Lots of Cal gear because she is going to be your strongest unit. And then just making sure she's capped up on killers. She's got her own vision card. Yeah, she's almost capped on all killers. She's got 300 bird, demon, but only 275 fairy. But as you can see, that was more than enough to get the job done. In her Braccia form, pretty much exactly the same. Sorceress's power is just there for EPing. And yep, again, 300 to avian and demon, only 275 fairy, but doesn't matter. She's still crushing the boss. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. She's pretty simple and straightforward to build. Nothing really shaking there. 2B, her own STMR. You don't need the Dark Vision Katana, but if you want it, that's great. Genji Helm is there. I had that originally for some Paralyze resist, but turns out I don't need it now that I have Sylvie in the party, and I just never swapped it out. So obviously put a stronger helm in there if you have it. Magister's Ring for the Chain Cat boost, and this is what I use to try and fill out her killers. I think she's almost maxed. 290 to Avian and Demon, and 275 Fairy. The 290 is because of Cyan's stupid TMR that only does 40% Avian Demon. It's silly. Pure Soul's Prayer, that's Fiend of the Return, is nice because it does 50% Avian Demon. Too bad you can't use 2 of those. And then, yeah. Pretty much the same in Braccia, except swap one of the materials out for Tyvus' Spirit if you have it. If you don't, it's not going to make or break your damage, I don't think. Alright. Sylvie is our backup evade provoke unit, so you know this is the gear I use to make her a full evade provoke unit. Blizzard Orb for counters. Yeah, Winged Heart is great because it does 60% wind resist. And then, oh yeah, I gave her Wilk's vision card because she will, if she's dual wielding, she'll double proc this ability, meaning 700 morale per turn. If you don't have it, just put Melissa's vision card on her. That works just fine. All right, pretty much exact same build in both forms. Nothing really shaking there. Olive. So I did my best to you know, sort of fill out her killers a little bit. Shantota's ribbon does 50% demon killer. Blue Mage Fina's dress, even though it's got low mag, is definitely BIS here because of the 100% fairy killer. All right, Magister's Ring obviously for Chain Cat boost. Ash's leg arm is just a high mag gear there. Spirit Killer plus Pure Soul's Prayer again for that 50% bird and demon. Then just filling out her LB damage, and this vision card has 100% demon killer. And so she is sitting at 250 bird, 300 demon, 175 fairy. So still low on the fairy killer, but much better than my damage test clear. So yeah, she definitely, as you can see, her damage was rivaling 2B's in this fight. Now, of course, she did a bit more chip damage than 2B would have done, but still, very helpful there. All right, and that's pretty much it. So, like I said, this team is easily swappable with different unit compositions. Malphasie and Elena are probably, I would say, the core of this team is obviously Malphasie. She's pretty much unswappable with this strategy. Sylvie is definitely really good, and Elena. I would say Malphasie, Elena, and Sylvie are kind of the core, and then the rest can be sort of swapped interchangeably. 2B and Olive, they can easily be your 2 best damage dealers. They are interchangeable. They don't really bring anything to this fight that's special. So swap those out for whoever you have. Kaito's really great for the killers and the breaks, but you could honestly bring another breaker. You could even bring like Richt in place of Kaito, and just add more damage. So a lot of options there. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys. Thank you so much for following me, and I will see you on the other side.